Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/ProRevenge, where OP found a creative way to get rid of his cheating wife. Let's begin. My wife cheated on me with my best friend. What do I do? Posted by Reddit user Nobody Important.
TLDR, wife cheated on me with best friend. She has gained a lot of weight over our relationship and has become mostly unattractive to me.
Good Lord, how is he so fat?
I have done my best to be supportive and patient in every way. She said she missed the chase and flirting from me. What do I do? Did I do something wrong? What should I have done differently? My wife and me have been together for 7 years and married for 5. I met my mentioned best friend just before I got married around 6 years ago. My wife was introduced to my friend about a year later. Since then, we would regularly spend time together until I left that job and we moved away about 2 years ago. We still stayed in contact with my friend through long distance. My wife and him would talk on occasion platonically. My wife and I, like any marriage, have had our own hurdles in our relationship. When we first started dating, she was about 110 pounds and 5 feet 2. After some time, she began to consistently gain weight, to the point where she is now nearly 180 pounds. My physical attraction to her has also declined as a result, leading to less intimacy. I have tried to talk with her about it and help where I could, but ultimately, I can't make her do anything that she doesn't want to. Just because I know there may be some people out there playing devil's advocate. I have stayed mostly the same since we first were together. I've gained about 15 pounds of muscle since, but that's about it. I also am not expecting or desiring for her to be at her weight in high school. When we got married, she was at a healthy 130-ish, which I was just fine with. After the last time we talked about her weight, she became frustrated and vented to my friend about it. From my understanding, this is where she admitted she had some attraction to him and a mutual crush formed that I was not aware of at the time. This happened about a year ago and I have not said anything to her about her appearance or my attraction to her since our last discussion. Recently we were on a trip and stopped by to visit my friend for a few days as we hadn't seen him in a while. On the last night we were there, it seems something happened between them and after I went to bed, they hooked up. She later admitted it to me after I noticed she was acting off. Both her and my friend have been in relationships where they had been cheated on, so they were the last two I would have expected to be the ones to cheat. I know my decrease in attraction to her may have contributed as she claims she missed the flirting and the chase. I find it almost forced to do those things if I'm not genuinely attracted to her as much as I once was. While we still have intimacy, it happens less frequently than in the past because of this. I personally think I have been very patient with her on letting her figure out herself, and let her know I'm willing to help if she wants it, as this has been an ongoing struggle for years now. At one point I even offered for her to fill her sexual needs somewhere else if she wasn't getting what she needed from me, but only if she discussed it with me first, just so I was aware of what is going on. After their hookup, I'm at a loss of what to do. I still love her and I haven't ever got along with another woman as well as her, but I feel my efforts have been a waste and betrayed by both of them now. I feel I have tried everything I could to help or make it easier for her, but it just doesn't seem to have helped. I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm honestly just looking for some different perspectives on the situation. I can provide more details for anyone willing to give their opinion. Thanks, Reddit.
OP, just start the divorce process already. You're not attracted to her, and she's a fat hoe that cheated on you. It's over. Look, man, she had sex with him while you were in the next room. She practically served you the divorce papers, but she chose to destroy your friendship with her affair partner and did so in a way to maximize hurting and humiliating you, all because she wanted some attention. She sounds like a wonderful human being. And now for today's second story. Cheat on me? Enjoy your new life. Posted by Reddit user Useless Karma.
So first off, let me tell you this is a throwaway account. All the names and other stuff are changed because of privacy. Also, this is not my story. This happened to a friend of a friend. Also, long-time lurker, first-time poster, and forgive my formatting, I am on mobile. TLDR at the bottom. If this post doesn't qualify for ProRevenge, let me know. To the story. Me and my friends sometimes hang out with a guy we will call Mark. Now Mark is in his 40s, happily married to a woman. They have 2 kids in their teens. I will tell this story as accurately as possible from what Mark told us. As you all know, married life can many times get boring with 9-to-5 jobs, mundane life in a small-time village. Kids are growing up so you don't have to look after them 24/7 anymore. So you do what you can to make life interesting. You get a dog, start some hobbies, etc., or so at least Mark thought. He also thought that his happy little life would last forever. Wrong. Mark found out through the grapevine that while he was playing sports, being at work, trying to break the boring life they were having, his wife was attending to some hobbies of her own. Hobbies that included getting sweaty and real passionate with another man from a few towns over. At first the rumors didn't bother him, they were rumors after all, but something in Mandy's behavior started to change. No more funny time with Mark, she started to get distant, no more talking, just yelling, being annoyed, etc. It went on for a few months. This struck Mark as off, and one time after we were done playing soccer, he asked us what to do. We came up with several advice, like confronting her. But Mark didn't want to ruin his marriage over some mood swings and a rumor. So he did what every sane man would do, he set up cameras all through the house, and I am talking private investigator quality stuff here. He had cameras in the bathroom, living room, their bedroom, basically everywhere but the room of his children. He updated us on his new hobby and his setup, and things cooled off for a few weeks. After a few weeks after soccer time, we went out for a few beers. Mark wasn't quite himself, so we inquired what was wrong. He told us that he, after several nights of reviewing tape, found out that Mandy indeed was cheating on him. He was furious. They were married for 20+ years. They were high school sweethearts with 2 boys, and she betrayed him. Now comes the revenge part. He didn't confront her right ahead. Mark formulated a plan. Living only a few towns over, he had no problem getting the guy's phone number. Now you all know those pesky advertising companies who call you to get you to buy products, right? Mark pretended to be one and called the guy with the pretense he was selling him some body cleansing pills and other shit.
Good Lord, how is he so fat?
He knew the guy was overweight, and being quite a smooth talker, he didn't have much problem getting him hooked. He got the guy's first and last name, his address, SSN, job address, and some other stuff that doesn't really matter to the story. He told the guy he was in a ballot for different prizes from the company he was working for, and he would stay in touch in case the guy won anything. After that, came part 2. While Mandy was at work on a Friday, he packed all the stuff she owned, clothes, jewelry, collectibles, and other stuff into their family car. They have a Volkswagen Touran, so everything she had easily fit in. When Mandy came home from work, he told her they were going on a trip. At first she was against it, but again the smooth talking convinced her to roll over pretty quick and she got in the van with him. Before that, he took the boys to one of our friends' house. They weren't 18 yet and he is a responsible father, and off they went. Where did they go, you ask? Remember how he called the guy Mandy was cheating with? I think you know the answer. Sadly, or very hilariously, Mandy had no clue. He took her and all of her belongings to the guy's address and called him on the way, telling him to come outside. He said he won the first prize and he was on his way to give it to him personally. Mandy still had no clue. She thought he was just pranking one of his friends. I believe you realized by now that she isn't the brightest one in this world. Imagine her and the guy's face when he rolled into the parking spot of guy's house. He stepped out of the car, shook the guy's hand and told him, "Here is your prize, sir. I believe you know what it is." Took one last look at Mandy's white face and walked off. He got custody of both kids since he was better off than her, also told the judge she was cheating and that's why he was divorcing her. This all happened last year and as far as we know, the guy wasn't a great asshole and she left him soon after that, after a few beatings and some trips to the hospital and police station. Mark got over her after some time and a lot of alcohol, but he and his boys are doing great. They were both big enough to realize their mom was at fault and still barely talk to her when they go to visit. She tried to return into Mark's life on a few occasions, but he did the smart thing and told her to fuck right off. He told us this story after we went out for a few beers after soccer again. I was laughing so hard imagining the whole thing that I had to go to the bathroom, otherwise I would have peed myself. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as we did. TLDR, wife cheats on husband, he finds a creative way to get rid of her. Edit 1, it's not an SSN, we are not from the USA. Since many people got hung up on it, it's a tax number and I assume he asked for it to sound more believable. Edit 2, fix some spelling errors. A lot of people are reading a lot into every detail how I presented Mark's story. For instance, how he got all of her stuff into one car. Well, of course he couldn't, and maybe he got some movers afterwards. Just imagine the van being packed with stuff for a trip, whatever floats your boat. I said I am writing this from memory, so some things may not add up to your careful eyes. Be warned. I also wasn't at the court hearing for custody, but the kids live with him and they visit the mother every other weekend. I asked them how it is and they said it's pretty petty between her trying to get their approval and trying to convince them she was not at fault. They are 16 and 17 years old now, so I believe them. I guess I am sorry for doing that. Lastly, this story is fake just because he got the rights to the kids. I know how things are in the USA, but fair judges here take into account everything. They rather give them to the person who is more equipped to take care of them. That includes salary, where they live, how they act in court. Get off your USA high horse since not all governments are female-centered and corrupt.
So let's get through this one by one. The guy that she chose to cheat on her generally successful high school sweetheart was some fat loser from another town. He talked someone into giving them their private tax information, no problem. Then he illegally evicted his wife and illegally recorded his wife in her own home. He also apparently got full custody of his kids, and now they don't talk to their mother anymore. Also, according to OP's comments, she never reported his shit because they were happy to part ways. But according to his post, the cheating wife tried to return to the husband multiple times. Yeah, I call bullshit. None of this seems true to me. It seems more like some jerk-off fantasy story by some fat dude living in someone's basement. But I could be wrong. Maybe OP is just a smooth talker. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.